Hi, I'm going to take you through the method of how to get through the piece yawl. This piece includes a lot of open hi-hat techniques. You've got to make sure that it's very, very secure. Fairly straightforward. 2 taps on the hi-hat. Think the words up, down, hit it on the word up, and hit it on the word down. So that will now go from the start, bass, bass, tap, up, down. Keep it nice and steady. This piece is not that fast, it's only 102 beats per minute. So if you download the metronome app onto your phone or other device, then set it to play 102 crotchet beats or quarter notes per minute. What I would suggest to do first of all is to play the first 3 lines. I'll take you through that now. I'm going to do this without open hi-hats to start with. So I'm going to set the speed at 102, so it's nice and steady. Now stop at that point. Now the bar I have just finished on, which is the end of the 3rd line. You will notice there are 3 what we call flams. They are going to go around each of your 3 tom-toms. So remember the technique for flam: 1 stick vertical, 1 stick low, and then you go, create that little glitch. The problem you may have with this is that before the flam, it is an 8th note or quaver rest. So the rhythm will go bass, bass, rest, flam, rest, flam, rest, flam, like this. 2, 3, 4. Bass, bass, rest, flam, rest, flam, rest, flam. I'll do that again. 2, 3, 4. Bass, bass, rest, flam, rest, flam, rest, flam. So if I now go from the start, I'll play up to that point, and I'm now going to add in the open hi-hats, which happen in the 1st, 2nd, and the 4th and the 6th bars. You can see those by the little O followed by the plus. The O is open, the plus is closed. So here we go for all of section A. 3, 4. So I hope you could hear the click then in between the flams. That would really benefit you. Now the next section, section B in yawl. Again, you've got some nice little patterns that are going to happen here, but you've got to be very, very careful of them. It's similar to the start, but you've now got a double open hi-hat. So it will start bass, up, snare, up, tap. Once you've got that established, and I suggest you try it a few times, that is followed by bass, snare, tap. Put the whole bar together. That bar is crucial for this section. The 2nd and the 4th and the other bars, fairly straightforward. Just take care on reading the dots. Remember, the low dot is the bass drum and the higher dot is a snare drum. So without the click, without anything else, I'll just play you section B and the 1st line of the 2nd page. Two and 3 and. Now that last bit just then, you may have heard me count 2 and 3 and. The fill at the end of that 1st line on page 2 is to the rhythm coconut. And if you look carefully at the dots, you'll see that they are lower than the snare drum and played on the floor tom-tom. So the last bar on the 1st line, page 2, goes and 2 and 3 and. Once you've done that, the next 3 bars are the same as the previous line. So line 2 rhythmically is the same as line 1 on page 2 until we get to the fill bar at the end. You've got to be careful again of the flams. There's one on the high tom-tom, then a bass drum to a snare drum. If you count that in rhythm, bass and 2 and 4. I'll do that again. 2, 3, 4, and 2, 4. And a third time. 2, 3, 4, 2. So I'm now going to play all of section B, and I'll put the backing click on with this. Here we go. And 2 and 3 and. I hope you heard the crash as well on the second line of page 2. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go from the last fill that I just did and link it into section C. Now if you look at section C, there are 3 lines to get us to the end of the piece. The start of each line is the same rhythm. We are now on the ride cymbal, so this is your standard rhythm. And all the bars are built upon that. There may be an extra bass drum within the bar, but they are built up on that rhythm. But each line starts with a crash like this. So I'm now going to link the bar before letter C, end of line 2, into letter C at line 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now do that a second time. 2, 3, 4. Now I've got that sorted, I'm going to play through section C. At the end of the first line of section C, there is again a coconut, but be careful because this time it's on the snare drum, and that will again go immediately to the crash like this. You then need to be very careful on the last 2 bars of the piece. They're fairly straightforward, but they will catch you out if you're not careful. Because you've got a standard rock 4-beat, bass tap, snare tap, and then it's a snare drum. The natural feel is to go to a bass drum, but you are aware it is a snare drum, so please just be careful. And then the very final hit of the piece is on a crash. So I'll play the last line of the piece for you. So I'm now going to put all of section C together. And now the next thing, I'm going to put the whole piece together. So from the very beginning, thinking about the open hi-hat, I can't even say it now, the open hi-hat technique at section A and section B, being very careful with the fills, counting the gaps, and linking through to the ride cymbal at section C. So I'll put the backing track on, which should be sent through as well, and here we go.
Y'all. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
And there you have it. So happy practicing, and let's work at getting that one right, please. Cheers.